the goal here is to make XDC the de facto standard for all the projects building on Web3. XDC should be their first choice. This is what we want to achieve out of the Accelerator program, and I'm 100% sure we would be able to achieve that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the XDC Nina podcast, where we talk about blockchain, innovation, projects, and of course, about the XDC network. Today, I would like to introduce you to Aniri Merchant, one of the investment managers at XVC Tech. It's an investment firm backing up Web3 startup projects. So, Aniri, please tell us more about yourself, your background, and what do you do?
Thank you, Rebecca, for having me on the podcast and giving me an opportunity to talk about XVC Tech as well as the XDC blockchain to the entire community and, of course, the new subscribers in general. I'll talk a little bit about my prior experience. I have studied chartered accountancy as well as MBA finance from Hong Kong. And I have around 12 years of experience mainly into core finance, dealing with different aspects such as investment banking, corporate finance, as well as debt restructuring. And of course, now since last 2 years, venture capital. So I have worked with companies like Citibank, BDO India, Deloitte, which is one of the big fours, and CLSA across India and Hong Kong. Over the last 2 years, I've been associated within the XDC ecosystem, mainly handling XVC Tech as an investment manager, but also in charge of the XDC acceleration programs that are running currently, mainly Brink and Foundership.
Thank you for that introduction, Aniri. Great names, by the way, with your experiences. And yeah, I know you did not mention this, but I see that you're a traditional finance person, but then you moved eventually to Web3 as well. It clearly gives you a distinct advantage because you understand both worlds. So yeah, at XVC, how is XVC's approach when it comes to investment to projects?
Thank you for the question. And before we delve into XVC Tech's approach to investments, I would like to give an introduction to the XVC Tech in venture capital. XVC Tech is an investment company based out of Dubai, mainly investing in early stage Web3 native projects. So these projects could be between seed to Series A, commercially launched projects with a strong community. About to launch in token is definitely a plus. We do not have any regional preference, so we have a global mandate. And this fund is backed by the co-founders of XDC Network, Atul Kekre and Ritesh Kakkad. And here, what we do is come in more as strategic investors rather than just financial investors, because XVC Tech's investments are mainly to support the XDC ecosystem. So our role just does not stop once we remit the money. In fact, that's when we actually start. We provide a lot of resources from our ecosystem. Example, we provide technical support to projects that we've invested, as well as we provide introduction to all the ecosystem projects which have the ability to forge a good partnership within XVC ecosystem space. So over the last 1.5 years, we've invested in close to 10 projects. Those 10 projects are from different verticals, namely RWAs, Oracles, payments, crypto wealth management platforms, a couple of investments from Web2 to Web3 as well. So done a lot of different investments, and we love co-investors. So any project which has a strong user base and a good set of investors and wants to come and deploy their tech on XDC, we love that, and that's the kind of projects that we're looking at XVC.
I see. So it's safe to say that XVC.Tech is a VC arm of XDC Network.
Correct.
And during your introduction, you mentioned as well that you are facilitating or overseeing XDC Acceleration Program. So I wanted to know what's the difference, or is there any difference at all when it comes to the investment with XVC?
Right. So at XVC, what we look for are, like I mentioned, more mature projects in terms of their product, in terms of their marketing, their user base, their idea. Their idea should have been validated, right? We look beyond tech. So we look at the founder's vision. We also look at whether they are actually solving a real world problem. Another important factor that we consider at XVC is the sustainability. So the project should be self-sustainable. They should make revenue from their operations in order for them to be sustainable over a long period of time without actually getting investments from the venture capitals again and again. So this is what we look at XVC Tech. Now, to distinguish that with the XDC acceleration program, that is meant mainly for pre-seed projects. So projects which have an MVP ready stage but are probably not commercially launched or are just launched and looking to validate their idea. And that's where we come in. So XDC could be like the first de facto blockchain for them to be built on. XDC could provide a lot of support in terms of that, and the accelerators such as Brink and Foundership provide a lot of mentorship opportunities. So that would include a range of mentorships such as business idea refinement, help for making pitch deck, financial models, designing tokenomics, helping with exchange listing, market making. So everything end to end. Now this would mean a fixed program of say 12 to 16 weeks. Once you have graduated from this program, this project, which was at a pre-seed stage, automatically comes at a seed stage. So it's much more mature, and it also helps in leapfrogging the growth of the startups within 3 to 4 months.
Interesting. So basically, although XVC and XDC play a different role, as you mentioned, XVC is more of the mature projects from seed to Series A. But for XDC acceleration program, these are pre-seed or startups that is already an MVP ready. So yeah, both has different roles, but
Correct.
Still it caters innovating or supporting the innovative projects into Web3. I'm a bit curious about the XDC acceleration program. Are there any main focus areas or criteria that you look for a project?
Yes, I think the reason why we launched the XDC Accelerator program in partnership with various different accelerators across the world is because we saw a gap between the projects wanting to launch their token and the projects actually having the ability to launch their token within a certain period of time. So we noticed that a lot of projects actually have a token use case, but they have no wherewithal or advice or the right kind of mentorship to launch the token. Eventually, even if they are successful in launching the token, it results in the token being dumped or not doing that well. So to fulfill this gap, we've partnered with different accelerators across the world. Now, regarding the focus areas, we have identified a set of focus areas based on the market trends as well as based on our ecosystem and why XDC would be the right blockchain to support projects based on these focus areas. So to give you an example, a couple of use cases are real world asset tokenization, AI and crypto, gaming, staking, Web3 infrastructure, dephysicalized physical infrastructure, which is DePIN as it's called, as well as a lot of payments. Now, payments has increasingly become one of our biggest use cases that we see at the XDC ecosystem, and I'll shortly tell you why. Before that, let me just get into why XDC would be going forward one of the best use cases for payment. So XDC, as you guys would be aware, is a layer 1 EVM compatible network, which is very fast. Our transaction finality time is less than 2 seconds. Our payment confirmation or the transactions that can go through our network is up to 2,000 transactions per second. And it's very, very cost efficient, which means that with a cost of say $0, you can actually transact millions of transactions. So payments is one of the biggest enablers for any use case with trillions of dollars being transacted on a daily basis. And Swift is actually not very feasible for new entrants, for fintechs as well as smaller banks, because Swift charges 8 to 9 cents per transaction, whereas on XDC the cost would be zero. XDC has the tech that allows payment at 1,000th of the cost than Swift, and it also has the ability to send any messaging format such as MT or ISO 222 as a layer 2 on XDC. Now, having seen the potential of XDC to be used as a payment protocol is something that makes us very interested in attracting a lot of projects which are actually dealing with payments on a daily basis.
Interesting. It seems like your selection process is very thorough, but aside from that, it must align to the market trend. So you want to make sure that this project is actually both innovative and also relevant. And I love the part wherein you mentioned how XDC is different from other networks, like how fast it is, how robust, and how the gas fee is nearly zero. And I also love the part wherein you compare Swift to XDC payment. I mean, as a payment, as a global deferred payment. So yeah, I mean, for any project, for any Web3 startup project or any project at all, they need more support, right? It's not just, it doesn't stop to the investment. So if I am a startup, what can I expect? What are the support that I can get from XDC Network?
That's a very good question, because, I get this question a lot of times from all the projects that apply to the accelerator, saying, apart from what the accelerators provide in terms of mentorship, what support does XDC provide? So that's something that I would like to talk to the audience in general. So XDC actually provides a lot of tech support in terms of the integrations or any problems that you may face in integration on the XDC network. We provide an all-round tech support, including connecting them with our developers, and we have our own portal called xdc.dev. Where the projects can post queries and they would be resolved as soon as possible. We also conduct a lot of demo days. Example, there are demo days that would be held across major crypto conferences happening across the world. The ones that are in the pipeline are during Token 2049 in Singapore, during GITEX and Future Blockchain Summit in Dubai, during ETH India in December in Bangalore, and of course during Consensus next year in Hong Kong. So these are the ones that are planned for the upcoming few months. During this demo day, we would be inviting a lot of founders and investors to come together and pitch these projects to them. From a marketing perspective, XDC would also enable these projects to come on podcasts such as this, and also give a lot of interviews, article publications, through press releases and otherwise. And a cherry on top would be a funding from XVC's side, which would be up to $100,000 in every project that graduates out of the cohort and fulfills the required milestones. So these are a few of the benefits that XDC provides, and I think it would be a great launchpad for the projects in order to gain visibility as well as to get funding to leapfrog their growth.
It's a well-rounded support, I must say, not only for financial, but also with the technical, right? And also, it's also a commendable part from XDC organizing these demo days that coincides with the global or major global events. And a demo day for any startup is actually a game changer, right? So as an attendee, probably on the demo days that you mentioned in Token 2014 in Singapore and also in GITEX Dubai, what do I expect as an attendee or as a community member of XDC Network?
Great question again. As an attendee during the demo days, I think what our goal is to connect investors with the good projects, right? So all the projects that have graduated from our concluded accelerator cohorts would be given a chance to pitch live in front of venture capital investors, as well as all the deals to be circulated through our VC arms as well, in order to receive funding from the VCs who attend. We would also be calling a lot of financial institutions, representatives from financial institutions to these events, where the projects would have a chance to pitch to them to merge their product into the existing tech stack or the infrastructure that they may have, and eventually be a part of something big and probably be a unicorn a few years from now.
So it's great to hear how XDC Network is creating these opportunities to the Web3 project owners, not just for them, but also for the community for XDC who wants to invest, and as you said, probably investing to the next unicorn project.
Right.
So Aniri, let's step back with the technical or business side. If there is any project owner who is very interested or keen to apply to the XDC Acceleration Program, as an investment manager, what is a personal advice that you can give it to them?
One personal advice that I would like to give the projects joining the accelerator program is to be extremely clear about the goal of joining this program and what you plan to achieve out of it. As mentioned before, this is a 12 to 16 week accelerator program which would help to leapfrog your token launch, which actually needs to be built on XDC. Before you apply, just have a thorough understanding of the XDC network and also how your project is one of the best projects to get to the XDC ecosystem. We have a lot of ongoing accelerator programs that are being run on a quarterly basis. So the best way to keep up with the information is to log into the website zinfin.org/join accelerator program. This website is constantly updated with the latest information in terms of the accelerator start date, the accelerator end date, what are the criterias for applying to that particular accelerator, what are the milestones. Everything that you would need is there in that one particular place. So all of you project owners could log into zinfin.org/join accelerator program. Another best way to be updated is through our social media channels. So please do like, follow, share and subscribe to our LinkedIn and Twitter channel called Zinfin Powering XDC Network, as well as XDC Tech, XVC Tech, where we post a lot of updates on an ongoing basis, mostly regularly. And you would also be able to see the kind of projects that are being built on XDC ecosystem. So the goal here is to make XDC the de facto standard for all the projects building on Web3. XDC should be their first choice. This is what we want to achieve out of the accelerator program, and I'm 100% sure we would be able to achieve that.
Awesome. And I'm sure the listeners will be taking a lot of insights and wisdom from what you have shared. And yes, looking forward to be, XDC as the blockchain de facto for any project that will be deploying to Web3. So, and also for the links that Aniri has mentioned, all of those links will be put under the description of the video. So please make sure to apply to the XDC Acceleration Program or apply to the investment and be one of the portfolio under xvc.tech. So Aniri, thank you so much again for being with us in this podcast. And yes, to all of our viewers out there, if you want to know more about XDC Network, please go to www.zinfin.org or participate to our discussion or forum that's called www.xdc.dev. So keep exploring, keep learning until the next episode.
Bye.